Oklahoma City, a sprawling metropolis where asphalt stretches for miles and the wind whispers tales of horsepower and speed, is the breeding ground for legends. This is where our story begins, with a young Jeff Bonnet, a kid with a head full of dreams and a heart set on the open road. Fans of Street Outlaws must have become familiar with seeing Jeff, aka AZN, side by side with Farm Truck. Some have even described him as his sidekick. Outside the bond that exists between the two and their love for life on the tracks, AZN has a pretty distinguishable quality and has had his ups and downs while on the show. Let's take a peek. Jeff Bonnet, better known as AZN, has become a household name among Street Outlaws fans, mostly due to his lovable personality and sense of humor. But the journey to becoming a street racing icon wasn't paved with trophies and victories. It was a road filled with twists and turns, triumphs and tragedies, that shaped him into the man, the racer, and the entertainer we know today. Jeff was born on August 3, 1981, in the racing town of Oklahoma, into the family of Dennis and Matsu Bonnet. Being born in such a place where racing was a thing held dear by many was a major push for Jeff, but he got his breakthrough later on when he met someone who has remained his mentor to this day. Jeff's passion for cars can be traced back to a deep connection he had with his father, Dennis, a Vietnam War veteran. Dennis instilled in Jeff a love for tinkering and a respect for the raw power harnessed beneath the hood. As much as Dennis played a huge role in nurturing Jeff by teaching him how to drive in the first place, Jeff agrees that his current knowledge and love for the thrill of racing came later on from Farm Truck, who had taken him under his wings and remains a strong ally to this day. The two have been inseparable since Jeff started to hone his career in racing. Jeff's relationship with Farm Truck notwithstanding, Jeff still owes his first ride to his father, Dennis. Their prized possession was a beat-up 1964 Chevy Nova, which was purchased at the price of $2,800 on a loan from his father. The car came when Jeff was still in high school and had no job to pay for it. According to an interview granted by Jeff, his father offered to be his bank and lent him the money on the condition that he would pay back every penny. This was a term that Jeff agreed with and had to get creative about earning a living. He had to reach out to neighbors, whom he offered to paint their house numbers on the curbs so that it could be easier for emergency responders to find their homes in case of a fire. Together, Jeff and his father built a formidable force as they poured their hearts and weekends into restoring it, transforming the Chevy from a junkyard relic into a symbol of their shared passion. Dennis became Jeff's first mentor, teaching him the fundamentals of mechanics and the thrill of getting his hands dirty. Just like that, Jeff's interest in street racing grew and pushed him to want more and make the best out of his newly found hobby. It wasn't long before he found what he was searching for in the racing tracks of Oklahoma, embracing the unpredictable terrain as he raced against some of the most seasoned racers in the area. And that was when he met Sean Whitley, aka Farm Truck. Jeff Bonnet, known as AZN, embarked on his racing journey in his teenage years, fueled by a passion for speed and adrenaline. His first foray into racing was marked by his acquisition of the Chevy Nova and, later on, a 1970 Volkswagen Beetle, affectionately dubbed the Dung Beetle. This quirky choice of vehicles showcased AZN's unconventional approach to racing and set the stage for his unique presence in the street racing scene. Speaking of an unconventional approach to racing, AZN's path intersected with that of Sean Whitley, better known as Farm Truck, a fellow racer based in Oklahoma City. The duo met through their shared love of racing, bonding over their mutual respect for the sport and their distinctive personalities. The friendship started even before Street Outlaws on the streets of Oklahoma. Jeff just started racing and dared to face some of the best in the game, which included Farm Truck. With Farm Truck's experience, Jeff didn't stand a chance, but something about Jeff made the two come together and have joined forces ever since. No one was sure what had strengthened the bond, but some believed that Jeff was in need of a father figure in his life. Turns out, Jeff had it a little rough growing up. His mother had passed from cancer when he was just a teenager, which was a major hit for him and the family. And as if that wasn't enough, in 2001, tragedy struck again when Dennis succumbed to a heart condition. So, along with his sister, Brenda, Jeff became orphaned. This event left a gaping hole in Jeff's life, But Jeff was never one to succumb to unfortunate events. His dreams and aspirations seemed to have the upper hand. The loss of his father and mentor became a turning point, pushing him deeper into the world of street racing, perhaps as a way to connect with his father's memory. Ultimately, leading him up to Sean, Farm Truck's iconic vehicle, a 1970 Chevrolet C10 pickup truck, became synonymous with their partnership and solidified their status as a dynamic duo in the street racing community. As AZN and Farm Truck continued to hone their racing skills and build their reputation within the Oklahoma City street racing scene, they caught the attention of television producers. Their distinctive vehicles, camaraderie, and captivating personalities made them ideal candidates for the emerging reality TV show Street Outlaws. So, in 2013, AZN and Farm Truck made their debut on Street Outlaws, being among the 405 crew members that formed the show. You could see them in some videos wearing a hoodie with 405 inscribed on it. Over the years, the duo has been captivating audiences with their down-to-earth demeanor, humor, and formidable racing prowess. The show provided a platform for them to showcase their talents to a wider audience, catapulting them to fame within the street racing community and beyond. AZN's transition into Street Outlaws marked a significant milestone in his racing career, elevating him to the status of a household name among fans of the show. His infectious energy, comedic flair, and undeniable skill behind the wheel endeared him to viewers, ensuring his enduring popularity as a key figure in the world of street racing entertainment. The Oklahoma City streets became Jeff's proving ground. He spent his nights honing his skills, pushing the limits of his car and himself. This is where he earned the nickname AZN, a playful jab at his mixed Asian and Caucasian heritage. However, the early days of street racing weren't all sunshine and checkered flags. There were countless losses and heart-wrenching defeats that tested his resolve, but Jeff, fueled by his father's memory and an unwavering determination, kept pushing forward. But there's something everyone is supposed to take note of about the relationship between Farm Truck and AZN. They both kind of adopted an unconventional racing style. While many other racers on the show are in serious competition on who would come out on top, these two have totally different plans. They just appeared to be having fun with their builds, focusing on cars that were suitable for both daily usage and were also fast. The problem is, other racers who had their eyes on the prize were ready to trade every other thing for not just fast cars, but super fast ones, because that's just what will earn you a place on the tracks of Street Outlaws. But Jeff was more interested in more iconic builds, like the 1970 Volkswagen Beetle that people have come to know him with. However, Jeff Bonnet's 1970 Volkswagen Beetle, also known as the Dung Beetle, holds a special place in the hearts of both him and fans of Street Outlaws. This unconventional choice of vehicle showcased AZN's distinctive style and his willingness to think outside the box in the world of street racing, giving it meaning beyond the constant tension that is normally associated with racing. The Dung Beetle was far from your typical racing car and was definitely not as fast. Unlike the high-performance muscle cars often associated with street racing, the Beetle was a compact rear-engine vehicle known more for its quirky charm than its speed, and it could also fit for daily usage. For Jeff, there are videos of him and Sean having fun while they are painting the vehicle. So much love was put into making the vehicle, not minding the rusty paint effect that was done on it. However, make no mistake, under AZN's guidance, the Dung Beetle underwent significant modifications to enhance its performance on the track. So as much as it was much heavier when compared to other lightweight vehicles you find on Street Outlaws, it would still beat a regular car to the chase. AZN's modifications to the Dung Beetle included upgrades to its engine, suspension, and overall performance capabilities. Despite its unassuming appearance, the Beetle proved to be a formidable competitor on the streets, surprising opponents with its speed and agility. But it couldn't exactly win races. For Jeff, this became a problem for him later on. What truly set the Dung Beetle apart, however, was its unmistakable personality. Covered in a distinctive brown and green paint, the Beetle became a beloved symbol of AZN's racing career and a fan favorite on Street Outlaws. On the tracks, however, other racers weren't so keen on competing with Jeff. It was almost always certain that it would be a loss for Jeff after each run. So, the natural spirit of drag racing, the thrill and adrenaline rush, uncertain of what the outcome would be, was watered down. Consequently, the show producers started excluding Jeff from races, as it seemed he wasn't so keen on winning. Jeff wasn't alone, however, as Sean suffered the same fate. Both were left to cater for themselves and were determined to make the best out of the situation. With their firm resolve, the two were able to get a shot at hosting their own show, which would allow them to explore their fantasies while not getting in the way of other racers. This was the birth of a spin-off of the show titled Street Outlaws, Farm Truck and AZN. Street Outlaws, Farm Truck and AZN is a spin-off series focused specifically on the adventures of the iconic duo from the original Street Outlaws show, Sean Whitley and Jeff Bonnet. Premiering in 2018, the spin-off provided fans with a closer look at the dynamic partnership between Farm Truck and AZN, as well as their misadventures both on and off the track. The show followed Farm Truck and AZN as they continued to navigate the world of street racing while also covering other aspects of their lives, including their friendships, hobbies, and personal challenges. Known for their comedic banter, camaraderie, and unorthodox approach to racing, Farm Truck and AZN brought their signature brand of entertainment to the forefront in each episode. Fans got to see more of their favorite duo as they attempted to start something they wanted. Street Outlaws, Farm Truck and AZN offered viewers a behind-the-scenes glimpse into the lives of these two beloved characters, showcasing their interactions with fellow racers, their efforts to modify their vehicles for maximum performance, and their quest for racing glory on the streets of Oklahoma City and beyond. In addition to their racing exploits, the show also highlighted Farm Truck and AZN's off-duty adventures, providing insight into their personalities and interests outside of racing. From fishing trips to car customization projects, each episode offered a well-rounded portrayal of the duo's lives beyond the track. Some of the cars that we saw the duo make during this time were so insane that some of them ended up not being practical for anything. While Street Outlaws, Farm Truck and AZN maintained the high-octane excitement and adrenaline-fueled action of its parent series, it also carved out its niche by placing a greater emphasis on the friendship and camaraderie between Farm Truck and AZN. This focus on their dynamic partnership endeared the spin-off to fans and cemented Farm Truck and AZN's status as fan favorites within the Street Outlaws universe. But the show didn't get the required attention that it needed for its success. For some reason, some blamed the producers of the show for not going all out on publicity, but something just wasn't right. Maybe the kind of cars that Jeff and his partner produced weren't really meeting up with the expectations. Not long after, the two had to move back to the original series, where they remain now. No matter how unconventional the approach of this duo is to street racing, one thing was certain: the Dung Beetle endeared itself to viewers with its underdog status and AZN's unwavering dedication to squeezing every ounce of performance out of the humble vehicle. Whether it was winning races or providing comedic relief, the Dung Beetle left a lasting impression on fans and solidified its place in the pantheon of memorable vehicles from Street Outlaws. In many ways, the Dung Beetle embodies AZN's approach to racing, bringing in an unconventional, spirited, and undeniably entertaining aspect that wasn't so out of place from the main idea of the show. Though other racers might have found it boring, despite its humble origins, the Beetle became a symbol of AZN's passion for the sport and his ability to make the most out of any racing challenge that came his way. Jeff's life really took another turn when he crossed paths with Sean Whitley, a seasoned veteran of the street racing scene who has become a kind of father figure for Jeff. Farm Truck was initially skeptical of the young and brash AZN, but the two have become a thing over the years. As they raced each other, a different kind of spark ignited. They recognized a kindred spirit in each other, a shared love for the sport and a healthy dose of competitive spirit. An unlikely friendship blossomed, forging a partnership that would become a cornerstone of Street Outlaws. Both of them took advantage of Street Outlaws when it finally premiered in 2013, a show that offered a glimpse into the high-octane world of Oklahoma City street racing, which ended up helping launch both AZN and Farm Truck into fame. While Farm Truck remained the dominant force behind the wheel, AZN quickly became a fan favorite. He wasn't your typical racer. He brought an undeniable charisma to the show, his infectious energy and signature smack talk serving as a constant source of entertainment. AZN wasn't afraid to get in the other racers' heads with his playful jabs. He became the show's hype. While there has been no record of any major accidents involving AZN on the show, there was a time he got into a little mishap while he was in Farm Truck's car. Sometime in 2018, they attended the famous Summer Nats Festival in Australia and were disappointed by Farm Truck's car during a burnout. Farm Truck's car faced a memorable mishap during the Summer Nats event. And for those who might not know already, the Summer Nats is an annual car festival held in Canberra, Australia, known for its high-energy atmosphere and various automotive competitions. During this particular Summer Nats event, Farm Truck's car experienced a significant mechanical failure while participating in a burnout competition. Burnout competitions typically involve drivers spinning their car's wheels to create smoke and entertain the crowd. However, Farm Truck's car encountered an unexpected problem during the burnout, resulting in a dramatic turn of events with the car moving out of control and crashing into one of the barriers. Both Sean and Jeff were in the car, but they both came out without any injury. Today, AZN continues to be a vital part of the Street Outlaws family. He's a constant source of support for Farm Truck, a beacon of positivity for the show, and a beloved figure for fans worldwide. AZN's relationship status, with regards to his personal life, just like many of the racers on the show, he hasn't really been open about his personal life. But that's a natural recipe for rumors and speculation, as there have been whispers of a long-term partner, a woman named Lisa Lacey. However, the nature of their relationship remains unclear. Social media posts offer glimpses of a possible connection, but ultimately leave more questions than answers. Perhaps the reason for this secrecy lies in AZN's desire to keep his private life separate from his on-screen persona. Whatever the case may be, one thing is certain, AZN's passion for racing remains strong, even though he might choose to go about his career differently from others. AZN's bond with Sean has been a major influence and push for the racer, and we look forward to the great things that they might come up with in the future. The question now is, what's next for AZN? Maybe he might decide to actually compete and not just be there for the fun of the sport. Ultimately, he's a man who has overcome adversity, a loyal friend, a charismatic entertainer, and a true gearhead. AZN is more than just Farm Truck's sidekick or the show's resident trash talker. He's an integral part of the Street Outlaws legacy, a testament to the unwavering human spirit, and a constant reminder that life, like a well-tuned engine, is a journey full of twists and turns but ultimately one worth taking. Like and subscribe for more insights on Street Outlaws.